In this video we're going to have a look at multiplying two large numbers together without the use of a calculator. So in this particular question I've got 54 times 26, and the first thing I'm going to need is a grid to help me out with this one. So I'm going to use a multiplication grid, and I'm going to take my first number, which is 54, and I'm going to break it up into its constituent tens and units, which means it's 50 and 4. Then I'm going to do the same with 26, which becomes 20 and 6. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to make this really easy for myself. Instead of multiplying 50 times 20, all I'm going to do is 5 times 2, which is 10. Then there is a 0 here and a 0 here, so I can add those on, and 50 times 20 is 1000. Then I'm going to do 4 times 2, which is 8. There are no zeros to add here. There's one 0 I can stick on that one. And 5 times 6, which is 30, and no zeros to add there, and just the 1 from up there. Then 6 times 4 is 24. What I can do now is I can take all of these numbers and I can set them up in a column addition, so 1000, 300, 80 and 24. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them up now, so 0, add 0, add 0, add 4, 0, add 0, add 8, add 2 is 10, 0, add 3, with this 1 included down here, and the 1 drops all the way down. So my answer to 54 times 26 is 1404. Here are two questions for you to have a go at yourself. Pause the video here, hit play when you want me to talk you through the answers. Okay, let's have a look at these then. So first things first, I'm going to need my grid method, and these are multiplications. So I'm going to go 30, 7, 40, 1. 3 times 4 is 12 and a couple of zeros. 7 times 4 is 28 and 1 0. 3 times 1 is 3 and 1 0. And 7 times 1 is just 7. Then when I add all of these numbers up, 1200, 280, 30 and 7, I get the value 7. This makes 11, 4, 5, 1517. In my second example, 85 times 26, again it's going to be a multiplication grid, and I'm going to do things slightly differently here just to show you that it doesn't matter which way around you put them. In the first example I took the first number and put it on top. This time I'm going to take my first number and I'm going to put it down the side. So 85 and 26, and it won't actually make any difference to my final answer. 8 times 2 is 16 with a couple of zeros. 8 times 6 is 48 with 1 0. 2 times 5 is 10 with 1 0, and 5 times 6 is 30. Again, I'm going to add all of these up, so 1600, 480, 130. When I add them all up, I get 0. This makes 11, so I carry the 1. 6 add 4 is 10, add the 1 is 11, add this one becomes 12, and that makes 2. So my answer to 85 times 26 is 2210. In this example we're going to look at expanding that idea slightly, and this time look at 3-digit numbers as well. So 247 times 58. So I'm going to need to set up a grid method. This time my grid's going to need to be slightly bigger to encompass the larger digit number here. So it's still going to be a multiplication grid, and 247 breaks up into hundreds, tens and units. So I've just got the extra column here to take account of the fact that this is now 3 digits rather than 2, and then 58 is going to live there. 2 times 5 is 10. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. 5 times 4 is 20 with a couple of zeros there. 7 times 5 is 35 with 1 0. 8 times 2 is 16, and there are 2 zeros to add in. 8 times 4 is 32 with 1 0 to add in, and 7 times 8 is 56. Now, because I've got 6 numbers to add together, I need to be really careful with how I line up my column addition. So I'm going to start with the biggest number, which is 10,000. Then I'm going to take my 2,000, then my 1,600, then I'm going to take 350, 320 and 56. Just be careful when you're doing this to make sure that all of your place value columns line up. So here are my units, my tens, hundreds, etc. So in this one, 0 add 0 add 0 add 0 add 0 add 6, 0 add 0 add 0 add 5, 2 add 5 is 12, so carry the 1 over. 6 add 3 is 9, add 3 is 12, with the 1 makes 13, carry the 1 over. 2 add 1 is 3, with the 1 is 4, and then drop that 1 down. So the answer to this one is 14,326. Here are 2 questions for you to have a go at yourself. Remember to set your grid method up. Remember that there are 3-digit numbers involved now. Good luck. Hit play when you're ready to talk you through the answers. Okay, solutions to these questions then. So first I'm going to need a couple of grids to help me out on this one. These are going to be multiplication grids, and I make sure I put that in so I don't make any silly mistakes like adding or whatever. So 370 and 2 and 40 and 1. 3 times 4 gives me the 12, and I've got 1, 2, 3 zeros. 4 times 7 is 28 and 2 zeros to add in. 2 times 4 is 8 with the 1 0. 300 times 1, we can do that. 7 times 1 is 7 with 1 0, and 1 times 2 is 2. When I add up all of those values very carefully using my column addition method, I'm going to get the answer to this sum as 15,252. In the second question, again I just drop this in to make sure I remember that it's a multiplication, and I'm going to write out 200, 60 and 3, 80 and 5. 8 times 2 is 16 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. 8 times 6 is 48 with 2 zeros. 3 times 8 is 24 with 1 0. 5 times 2 is 10 with a couple of zeros. 6 times 5 is 30 with 1 0 to add on, and 5 times 3 is 15. When I add up all of those values, again really carefully, I get the final answer to this sum as 22,355. Well done if you got both of those correct. Thanks for watching.